I got interested when I was 2. I had listened to operas and gone to ballets and gone to some operas, and I was really interested in that.
Interested by 2, playing the violin by 3. And now at 19, Simone Porter still hasn't lost that childlike enthusiasm for classical music.
The music that he has runs the entire gamut of emotions, of tonality, of everything out there. So yes, there are some pieces that are, of course, calming and peaceful and cathartic, but there are other ones that are, downright scary or sensual and sexy, or, just so much fun or ebullient. There's just so much out there.
She's making a name for herself as a soloist on stages across the United States and around the world. But she didn't get there without practice, at least 4 to 6 hours a day. So please, she asks, don't call her a prodigy.
The word prodigy to me seems to imply somebody that's just entered the world ready to go with all the tools they need for success. It just doesn't acknowledge 2 very important factors. One is the incredible amount of support that is necessary for anybody to succeed. For sure, in my field, it absolutely does take a village. And, the word prodigy just seems to forget all of that and all the work that I put in.
Porter made her professional debut at 10 and by 12 was practicing under musical mentor Richard Lipset at the esteemed Colburn School in Los Angeles, far from her family's home in Washington State. After 3 years of flying back and forth from her home in Seattle to take weekly violin lessons here in Los Angeles, Porter's parents let her move here full-time to study at the Colburn School. She was just 15.
I think my parents probably realized the gravity of the situation more than I did at that point. I remember the biggest adjustment was just realizing the details that are necessary for just living a life, I don't think until I moved here it was just things like paperwork or errands that are necessary, and just the quotidian details of life were fascinating, and I had no idea how time-consuming they were until I started living here.
Did she just say quotidian? Yes, Simone Porter is not only musically gifted, she's amazingly bright, too. Lipset says it's not uncommon for her to devour a book in a day.
She has a remarkable intellect and remarkable mind that one just doesn't see very frequently. Beyond that, what I think makes her even more rare, the discipline part of her mind, is what is so critical in what we're trying to accomplish. She's a very motivated and highly disciplined person.
I practice about 6 hours a day.
She's lived and trained at the Colburn School throughout high school and now college.
So these are the practice rooms where I spend a good chunk of my day.
Yeah. But when she trains with Lipset, it's inside the actual Lloyd Wright designed studio of Jaška Heifetz, a Lithuanian violinist still considered to be one of the finest violinists in modern times. His studio in Los Angeles was taken apart piece by piece and rebuilt inside the Colburn School. It's an honor not lost on Porter's mentor.
This is kind of a sanctuary, kind of a temple, a museum of his legacy. I'm greatly honored that I teach in this room, and it's not lost on me every day that I come to work. The hair on the back of my head kind of stands on end.
And he gets to teach one of the most famous 19-year-old violinists in the United States right now, one who is striving for a solo career. Lipset describes it as aspiring for the Olympics or running for the President of the United States. It's that hard to make it. She's aiming for a very high note. Do you think she'll get there?
Well, she's already achieved more than most violinists would ever achieve or ever dream of achieving, and that she has been embrace on a national, international level with the solo appearances that she's giving. So the question more is whether it can be sustained. Now, very, very few ever get this opportunity that she has received.
From Carnegie Hall to Walt Disney Concert Hall, Porter has already taken center stage at world-renowned venues other musicians her age only dream about. But at a recent performance with the American Youth Symphony, while she was on stage with peers, other high-achieving young people, Simone still stood out as the star. Porter says she has no regrets about her unconventional childhood.
I don't ever think of myself as missing out because the experiences that performing has introduced me to are just so incredible, and they couldn't have been replicated in any other type of life.
She says she'll continue playing solo, bending genres, and even though she's already figured out how to get to Carnegie Hall, she'll continue to practice, practice, practice. For Full Frame, this is Sandra Hughes in Los Angeles.